You ever see a spider glow in the dark like mid-attack and wonder how it finds its way? Like it's not using a flashlight, right? It's just glowing. What's up with that? So here's the thing, these spiders don't need light to see. They glow, which is like a tiny disco ball for the dark. But wait, how does that help them find their way? Are they just randomly glowing? Maybe they're not using the glow to see, but to communicate with other spiders. Like a glowing language. Or maybe they're just trying to scare off the creepy crawlies that like to nibble on their webs. But here's the real question. If they glow, why do they even need eyes? Are they like glow-in-the-dark superheroes with no need for vision? Or are they just really bad at hiding? So we're here to figure out how these glowing spiders don't get lost. And honestly, it's way more interesting than you'd think. Let's dive in. So what exactly are we talking about? Well, glow-in-the-dark spiders. Yes, those are real, don't actually glow. They absorb light and then slowly radiate it like a tiny disco ball in the dark. It's like if your phone screen had a glow stick stuck to it. These spiders aren't like the glowing creepy crawlies in your nightmares. They're more like the quiet, mysterious ones who just glow. Imagine a spider that's basically a tiny, spooky flashlight. But here's the kicker, not all glow-in-the-dark spiders glow for the same reason. Some use it to scare off predators. Others use it to find mates. Basically, they're like the spider version of a neon sign in the middle of the woods. So we're not just talking about spiders that glow. We're talking about spiders that glow for reasons that make you go, oh cool, I didn't know that. It's like if spiders had a secret superpower that only works in the dark. In short, glow-in-the-dark spiders are like the universe's quiet, mysterious glow sticks. They don't shout, they don't flash, they just glow. And that's kinda awesome. You think spiders are just creepy little troublemakers? Well, imagine if your Wi-Fi router had a glow-in-the-dark filter, and suddenly you could see it from a mile away. That's basically what these spiders are doing. These spiders aren't just glowing for show, they are basically the universe's version of a nightlight. They're like the last hope for finding your way in the dark if you're a spider. So next time you see a spider, don't just panic. Maybe it's just doing its job as a little glowing guide for the dark. Or maybe it's just being extra spooky. And honestly, if you ever get lost in the dark, maybe you should just look for a glowing spider. You never know, it might be your new best friend. Okay, let's rewind to the Cambrian explosion like 500 million years ago. These ancient spiders had no glow, but they were already using webbing to hunt. Imagine a spider with a flashlight made of spider silk. No, wait, that's a spider with a flashlight made of spider silk. Wait, that's not a spider, that's a spider with a flashlight made of spider silk. Fast forward to the Carboniferous period, like 300 million years ago. The air was thick with oxygen, and spiders had to navigate through thick forests. They probably used their webbing as a kind of map, like a spider with a GPS made of silk. Then came the dinosaurs, and spiders had to hide in the shadows. They started developing bioluminescence as a way to light up the dark. It was like, hey, I'm not a bug, I'm a glowing ninja. But wait, not all glow-in-the-dark spiders evolved from the same place. Some evolved in the dark caves, others in the rainforests. It's like, I'm a spider, I'm glowing, and I don't care where I came from. So in the blink of an eye, we went from ancient web weavers to glowing ninja spiders. It's like evolution's version of a TikTok trend, spiders with a light show. So glow-in-the-dark spiders don't actually glow. They're like the spiders of the night, but with a little extra glowy sparkle. They're basically the disco ball of the spider world. They get their glow from something called bioluminescence, which is like when your phone flashlight accidentally turns on in the dark and you're like, oh, that's not me. But here's the thing, glowy spiders don't use their glow to find their way around. They're not like glow-in-the-dark stickers that help you find your way home. They're more like the glow-in-the-dark spider that just likes to be seen. So if they're not using their glow to navigate, how do they find their way? Well, they use their legs, their sense of smell, and maybe even a little bit of spider intuition. In short, glow-in-the-dark spiders are like the party animals of the spider world. They're not really glow-in-the-dark for navigation, they're just glow-in-the-dark for fun. So glow-in-the-dark spiders don't actually glow, they just absorb light like a glow stick, and then slowly release it. It's like they're wearing a solar-powered flashlight that's been left in the sun all day. But how do they know when to start glowing? It's not like they have a light switch. They're basically like, hey, I've been in the dark for 10 minutes, time to start shimmering. So they're not just glowing for fun, they're actually using it to see in the dark. It's kind of like having a flashlight on your face, but way cooler and less likely to wake up your roommate. But here's the catch, they can't control how bright they glow. It's like trying to adjust the brightness on a smartphone, but your screen is made of jelly, and you can't press any buttons. So they're kind of like nature's own bioluminescent lanterns. but with a bit more spider vibes and a lot less battery life. Okay, so they're not actually glowing, they're just reflecting light. Like a disco ball in the dark, but for spiders. They've got this special layer in their skin that bounces light around. When they're in a dark place, they basically become mirrors. The light they absorbed earlier is now bouncing off them, like a flashlight on a mirror. But they're not turning into a disco ball, they're turning into a tiny glowing signpost. This reflection helps them see the way, like a tiny flashlight in the dark. But here's the kicker, they're not just reflecting light, they're using it to see the light from other spiders. It's like a spider internet but slower and more awkward. So they're not actually glowing, they're just playing a light game. Like a kid with a flashlight in the dark, but with more legs and less batteries. They're basically using light as a map, with their own body as the marker. It's a pretty smart trick. They're using their own body to light the way, but they are not turning into a light bulb. They're just being a little bit of light in a dark world, which is kind of a spider version of being the light of the world. So they don't just glow like a firefly, they actually use their glow to light the way. It's like having a tiny flashlight on your head but with a spider twist. But here's the twist, they don't just glow from the top, they glow from all over. Imagine a spider wearing a disco ball made of bioluminescent darts. This helps them see in the dark, but also helps other spiders find them. It's like having a neon sign that says I'm hungry and I'm lonely. And here's the real trick, they can turn their glow on and off. Like a spider with a dimmer switch but with more spider legs. So they're not just glowing, they're smart about it. Like a spider with a tiny flashlight, but also a mood ring and a disco ball. So here's the real deal, no magic, no glow stick spider superpowers. They're just using the same tricks as any other spider. Webbing, sensing vibrations, and yeah, sometimes just flying blind. It's like when you're in a dark room and you just trust your fingers to find the light switch. But wait, some of them do have a tiny bit of light in their guts. Not like a flashlight, more like a glowy glow-in-the-dark sticker. It's not enough to see by, but it helps them notice other glowing things, kind of like how you can see the moon in the dark because it's reflecting light. So it's not that they're super spider ninjas with night vision. It's more like they're using the glow of other things to help them find their way. Kind of like how you might use a street light to find your car in a parking lot, but with more spider legs and less frustration. And here's the cool part, some spiders even use the moon as a guide. They can see the faint glow of the moon and use it like a compass. It's like how you might use a map to find your way, but with a glowing orb in the sky instead of a piece of paper. So in the end, it's not about glowing like a disco ball, it's about using what little light there is. Like how you might use a flashlight to see in the dark, but with more spider vibes and less batteries. So imagine you're a glow-in-the-dark spider, but you're also a disco ball. You're like a walking light bulb, and you're trying to find your way through the night, but you're also a little bit confused about where you are. You're not really using your glow to light up the room, you're just using it to see yourself. Like you're trying to find your way, but all you can see is your own light, like a disco ball in a dark room. It's not like you're using the glow to see the whole room. You're just using it to see yourself like a mirror, so you can tell where you are but not where you're going. So you're basically a spider with a built-in flashlight that only shines on you. You're not helping your friends, you're just helping yourself. It's like a light show for one person. You're not the hero of the night, you're just the only one with the flashlight. And honestly, that's kind of cool. You're the only one who can see yourself in the dark. So here's the part that sounds like a sci-fi movie, but it's actually real. These spiders don't just glow, they glow in specific patterns that act like a map for their own kind. It's like they're using their own light to draw a road sign that says turn left this way. Imagine if your shoes had a little light that told you where the door was. That's basically what these spiders are doing. They're not just glowing, they're sending out a signal that other spiders can read. It's like they're using their own glow as a GPS. They don't need the sun or the moon, they just need to see their own light. It's wild, right? Like they're giving themselves a flashlight. And the best part, this glow isn't random. It's actually a kind of language they use to communicate. It's like if spiders had a secret code that only other spiders could read, and it's all about light. So next time you see a glowing spider, remember, it's not just a spooky Halloween decoration. It's a tiny, glowing navigator with a whole secret language of light. Pretty cool, huh? So here's the first myth. Glow-in-the-dark spiders use their glow to navigate. Like they're like little lanterns, right? But that's not how it works at all. Glowing isn't a navigation tool. It's more like a neon sign saying I'm here, don't eat me. It's for attracting mates or scaring off predators, not for finding your way around. They also use the ground under them. Some species can feel vibrations, like the ground is a giant drum and they are playing it with their feet. So no, they're not using their glow to navigate. It's more like a fashion statement or a warning sign. Either way, it's not a GPS. Next time you see a glowing spider, don't assume it's a GPS. It's probably just trying to look cool or scare off a bird. Either way, it's a weird and awesome spider. So the myth is that glow-in-the-dark spiders use their glow to navigate. But here's the thing, most spiders don't actually glow. They're just super reflective. Like they're basically walking mirrors for the moonlight. Wait, even the ones that do glow, like the ones with those cool green spots, they're not using the glow to find their way. They're just being flashy for the spiders who like to party and flirt. So if they're not using the glow to navigate, how do they find their way? Well, they're basically master engineers of the dark. They use a combo of touch, smell, and maybe even echolocation. Wait, do spiders use echolocation? I mean, they do have those little hairs that vibrate when they walk. It's like they're doing a spider version of Google Maps, but with more crawling and less zooming. They just know the terrain so well, it's like they're walking in their sleep. So the glow is more like a fashion statement than a navigation tool. They're basically the spider version of a neon-lit nightclub DJ, showing off, not guiding. So you're probably wondering, do these glowy spiders live in your house? No, not really. But you might have a glow-in-the-dark sticker somewhere. That's basically a spider in a costume. Or maybe you've seen those glow-in-the-dark stars on your ceiling. Yeah, those are basically spiders with glittery pajamas, just not as cool. And if you've ever left a light on overnight, you might have seen a glowing shape in the corner. That's not a ghost. That's just a spider wearing a nightlight. So in a way, you're surrounded by glowy spiders. Just not the kind that can actually navigate. They're more like spiders who got a glow stick for Christmas and forgot how to use it. In the end, glow-in-the-dark spiders are just a fun way to think about light. They remind us that even in the dark, there's always something glowing, like your favorite snack or your dumbest joke. So here's a real-world example that goes surprisingly hard. Imagine you're a glow-in-the-dark spider trying to find your way through a dark cave. You've got this faint glow, but it's not enough to light up the whole place. You can't see much, so you start relying on your web vibrations. But how do you tell if you're getting closer to the exit, or just bouncing around in circles? Then you hear something. Maybe another spider, or maybe just the echo of your own web. You can't tell if it's friend or foe, or if it's even real. And finally, you remember you're not a bat. You don't have sonar. You just have this weak glow and a lot of patience. You keep going, hoping the light gets brighter. So yeah, navigating as a glow-in-the-dark spider is like trying to find your way home in a pitch-black basement with only a flashlight that's about to die. But hey, you're a spider. You're built for this. So these spiders are like the Spider-Man of the dark, but with more glitter and less capes. They can see in the dark so well, they're basically the Batman of the spider world. But here's the kicker. Some of them are so good at it, they've basically mastered the art of being spooky in the dark. Imagine if your eyes were like a night vision camera, but also had a built-in flashlight. That's basically what these spiders have. They can see in the dark, but they also emit their own light like a glow stick superhero. It's the ultimate combo, visibility and stealth. And here's the crazy part. Some of these spiders are so good at seeing in the dark, they can spot prey that's not even emitting light. It's like being able to see ghosts. They're basically the creepy, spooky, glow-in-the-dark version of a night vision expert. So if you ever see a spider glowing in the dark, don't be scared, just be impressed. They're not just creepy, they're like the ultimate night owls with a built-in flashlight. And if you're ever lost in the dark, just follow the glow. It's probably a spider. Probably. So in short, glow-in-the-dark spiders are basically the ultimate night creatures. They can see in the dark, they can glow in the dark, and they can find prey in the dark. They're like the spider version of a superhero, just with more legs and less cape. Okay, so imagine you're a glow-in-the-dark spider, and suddenly your glow light bulb goes out. You're like, wait, am I even in the dark or just not glowing? You try to sense your way around, but without that glow, it's like trying to find your keys in a pitch-black pocket. You're basically a spider with a flashlight that just quit on you. Some spiders might panic and just spin a web in the wrong place, like a human trying to build a house in the middle of a swamp. It's not pretty, it's not safe, but it's what you do. Others might just give up and hide, like a glow-in-the-dark sock that's lost in the laundry. You're not a sock, you're a spider, but the dark is still a problem. In the end, even glow-in-the-dark spiders have their limits. But hey, they're still awesome. Just don't let them get too dark or they'll start spinning webs in your kitchen. So here's the real kicker. Glow-in-the-dark spiders aren't actually glowing. They're just reflecting light like a disco ball. It's like if your phone flashlight was a mirror and you're trying to find your keys in a dark room. That means if you turn off the light, they're just as blind as the rest of us. No superpowers, no glow sticks, just a spider with a tiny flashlight that only works in daylight. Also, some people think glow-in-the-dark spiders are actually glowing from inside. But no, they're just coated in a special chemical that's like a tiny light-up sticker. You can't glow from the inside without a nuclear reactor, so in the end these spiders are more like glow-in-the-dark stickers than actual glowing creatures. They're not magical, they're not special, they're just glowy, like a glow stick but with 8 legs. And that's the secret no one tells you when you buy a glow-in-the-dark spider. You're not getting a magical creature, you're getting a sticker with legs. But hey, it's still kinda cool. So how'd we even figure out these spiders glow? Well, scientists are like, hey, these spiders are glowing in the dark, but we can't see them unless we turn off the lights. So they did what any smart person would do, they turned off the lights and started watching. It was like trying to find a glowing firefly in a pitch-black room, but with way more patience. But wait, how do you even know they're glowing if you can't see them? Oh right, they used cameras. Not the fancy kind, just basic cameras with long exposure. It's like taking a photo of a firefly at night, but with a lot more waiting and a lot less patience. And then they noticed something weird. Some spiders were glowing, others weren't. So they started asking, why are some glowing and some not? It was like asking why some people have glitter on their face and others don't. Turns out it's about their species and their environment. So they did what any good detective would do. They started testing. They exposed spiders to different light sources, waited and saw what happened. It was like trying to figure out if a cat is allergic to tuna by feeding it different foods and watching for reactions. Eventually they realized the glow wasn't just random. It was a way to navigate, like a built-in flashlight. It's like having a little glowing compass in your head, telling you where to go even when everything else is dark.